your boy. Can say something? I'm back before we get to it. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you always watch the full video.
Man, what's up, everybody? It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're gonna be speaking on Tory Lanez getting stabbed inside a prison and the man who did it. May 12th, 2025, located north of Los Angeles lies the California Correctional Institution in Tehachapi, California. In 2021, the prison closed its minimum custody facility, meaning its 2,600 inmates were level 3 or level 4. These are the most dangerous levels in California State Prison, where race, gangs, and strict politics are enforced with deadly consequence. The only step above this would be the maximum.
That's a hard drawing right there, boy. It'd be crazy, like the amount of talent that be wasted in jail.
Security inmates housed within the security housing unit, otherwise known as the SHU. A disciplinary confinement reserved for the prison's most violent, whose only escape from a cell is a human dog cage. It was 7:20 in the morning when 32-year-old Daystar Peters.
You ever think that you want to go to jail? Watch the movie Felon. Like, that movie's so cold, I can't watch it. Like, it's a good movie. It's a great movie. But it shows you, like, bro, like, what you can possibly go through and like, just like that. Go watch that movie, bro. Think you tough, bro? Go watch that and see what you possibly gonna go through.
Violently attacked. TMZ would originally report multiple sources, including a corrections officer, claimed Tory was on the prison yard, but an updated report from a representative of the California Department of Corrections would clarify Tory was attacked within a housing unit. Prison staff rushed into the unit administering first aid while quickly determining Tory suffered life-threatening injuries, forcing them to call 911. Video would emerge of who's believed to be Tory Lanez landing in a life flight helicopter at Kern Medical Center in Bakersfield, California, an hour-long drive from the prison. With that distance, a helicopter was the only form of transportation able to move him fast enough to save his life. A message to Tory Lanez's Instagram account would state
14 times,
14
bro.
times. 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 to the left side of his face. Both.
The extra sad part about this is that, again, not even just because, hey, I'm a fan, but he could possibly went through this in jail for something that he didn't even do. There's a recent mind you, people have been saying it for years, but there's a recent I guess, like, post or whatever from, like, no official authorities or whatever, saying that the best friend, Meg Thee Stallion's best friend, Kelsey, her bodyguard, overheard her saying that she's the one that had the pistol. And they say that lines up with the other witness saying that he heard some shots fired, seen the girls fighting, he seen the short guy come in, basically knock the pistol out of her hand or take the pistol, whatever, and 2 more shots was fired. But how the authorities explained it is that he knocked the pistol out of her hand, it hit the ground, went off 2 more times. Sounds crazy, but hey, that's what they said. And that might be possibly how whatever happened. Because again, they said it was glass. People said it was a bullet.
His lungs collapsed and he had to be placed on a breathing apparatus. Luckily, Tory was breathing on his own, and despite the pain was talking normally, in good spirits, and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through. He also wanted to thank everyone for their continued prayers and support. Based on his wounds, it can be assumed Tory was attacked from behind, as the majority of his wounds struck his back and behind his head. Initially, no word was released as to who did it, leaving room for speculation. Because this took place in California, the only time someone is stabbed and it doesn't result in a race riot is if they are stabbed by their own race. But that isn't the case here.
Nah.
Compton rapper Spider Logan
That's just
posted a
personal.
conversation with a current inmate at Tehachapi. The man would claim Tory was on a tier full of Mexicans when a Mexican stabbed Tory. He'd confirmed Tory had to be airlifted from the prison and the prison was placed on lockdown. He'd also confirmed as soon as the lockdown is lifted, the blacks will be seeking revenge on the Mexicans.
What's Gucci?
What's cracking?
What it do, Fight?
Shit, nothing much to look, right? This morning, brother, the Mex came out and bust on the boy Tory. You know, they airlifted him and all that, so you know how that's gonna respond when we come off this shit. We're gonna respond the right way to that.
They laid the yard down.
No, it happened in the building.
What was it over? It was over some. What he had did he have a debt, a gambling debt or something?
That's what I was thinking.
That's
what I was thinking.
Like that. Shit, we don't even really know. We don't even know the whole situation, you know.
So it was just like some foul play. So it's finna be up.
Yeah, for sure, with some foul play.
Damn, cuz wasn't nobody right there.
If everything about human beings, if y'all don't know exactly what it was over, somebody should try to figure it out. Try to at least ask first. Not hitting. Probably if you can't ask the person, at least ask the other Mexicans. Hey, was this personal? Was this they're trying to start something, or was this something between him and Tory? Like, don't just.
Wasn't nobody right there with him when he went down?
Yeah, I guess nobody wasn't. He was by himself out there. He got a whole tier full of Mex. He on a whole tier full of Mex.
Wow.
But you already know, once we get off this shit, we press some play on. We press play.
I'm already knowing. God damn.
Tehachapi has a known reputation for being SNY, otherwise known as a special needs yard. These yards are known to house gang dropouts, snitches, sex offenders, and anyone else whose life is threatened by being in general population.
And they
California
still tried.
has also
That's
recently
crazy.
implemented 50-50 yards, half general population, half SNY, to integrate the two prison societies. This goes against strict prison gang politics, mainly for the Mexicans and whites who are allegedly forced to attack any rival or SNY inmate to essentially remove themselves from the yard until they are placed back in general population amongst the quote-unquote honorable convicts. While general population is deadly, it's controlled chaos, and SNY yards can be just as dangerous, if not worse, as the gang politics that keep things in line go out the window and violence becomes rampant. It's unclear if Tory was in fact SNY, as that comes with its own bad reputation within prison, but it's likely Tory was placed on a 50-50 yard and his politics didn't require him to remove himself. Now Tory's attacker will be identified as 42-year-old.
One, Tory is not from LA, not from California. He's from Canada. Two, I don't believe, mind you, don't know the nigga person, but I don't believe he has no street ties. So therefore, he probably, I'm good where I'm at.
Santino Casio, a man with a dark violent history. On June 8th, 2022, a then 20-year-old Santino, who went by the name Sonny, was heard arguing with his 13-year-old girlfriend. Minutes later, she was shot in the face with a shotgun.
What?
Santino would go on the run for 2 weeks before being arrested. His own family would testify against him in court, how they heard the argument before the blast.
The boyfriend of a 13-year-old girl, Sonny, a 20-year-old. What?
Coroner would testify the barrel
That's crazy.
4 inches away from the girl's face before it went off. An interview from the day he was arrested would be played at trial where Santino
Why you with a
admitted
13-year-old
to having a
kid, bro?
relationship with the 13-year-old girl for a month before the shooting. The girl was a runaway, while Santino was on parole from the California Youth Authority for burglary. In 2004, Santino would be sentenced to life in prison for murdering 13-year-old Evelyn Candejas and 2 other attempted murders from 2 separate stabbings. While in prison, he'd be sentenced to an additional 6 years for a prison stabbing on another inmate, and in 2018, he was sentenced to an additional 2 years for possessing a knife in prison.
Oh, yeah.
Santino Casio was as dangerous as they come, but his conviction for murdering a 13-year-old girl he'd been dating confirms he was definitely an SNY inmate, as he'd never be allowed to walk in general population without being stabbed or killed.
Yeah, they what?
Why he
Never.
chose to attack Tory Lanez is unknown. Many questioned if Tory was targeted because of his own conviction for allegedly shooting his former friend Meg Thee Stallion. The fact that he had a female victim, many would assume would be reason enough for him to be hit. But Santino's case is far worse than Tory's could ever be portrayed, and offers no motive as to why this happened. Tory Lanez is expected to survive, and it can also be expected that Santino be placed in the shoe and receive additional time in prison for this attack. But what is more time to someone who's already serving?
Yeah, that's why he don't care.
A superstar rapper once on top of the world, now surrounded.
One, the dude probably mental with one it was already off. You're a 20-year-old man dating a 20-year-old kid. Jake keeps saying, "Girl, this is a kid." I know girl is still is what she is, but we gotta put the kid on that. We gotta put the kid so the emphasis is there, like kid, not teen. 13 is there, but that's just off of 12. A 12, that's not a teenager, right? So we're gonna say 12. Yeah, his mental was already off. This probably was the only person that you was probably that was willing to take to do anything with you because they said she was on the run. Probably needed somewhere to stay, and you took advantage of that. That's crazy, dog. And then again, what if Tory Lanez going through all this and he's innocent? What if that
by killers with nothing to lose because of a stupid decision that changed the entire course of his life? Tory is lucky to have survived this, and hopefully remains lucky enough to survive the remaining years of his 10-year prison sentence. Now, when Tory was sentenced to prison, everybody...
I think I think they probably already tried and I think it got denied. But like I said in the beginning, if the best friend's bodyguard is willing to testify to say that he really truly heard that from her, Tory, this time your ass better get on that stand. You forget you don't want to get looked at as whatever you trying to avoid. This is your life. This is not no street matter. This is between you and a girl, your ex, whatever she was at that moment. This has nothing to do with the streets. Can't nobody look at you like, oh, you snitched, because ain't nobody looking at her like she snitched, because she's not a gang member. She has no street ties. She's not a thug. Bro, you better get your ass on that stand, dog.
He assumed one or two things. One is his money and celebrity status is going to keep him safe. And two, because he has a female victim, he could be targeted. I don't know if either one played a role in this, but the fact that Tory was damn near killed, right? Because prisons don't call in a helicopter for nothing. They all have medical units within the prison. Like, if it's superficial, they'll fix you. The fact that he had to be airlifted, his lungs collapsed, Tory almost got killed. This was a serious stabbing. Anytime a helicopter lands, it's serious. The fact that he survived this,
man,
and the fact that he was hit up.
Every time you see like a video or a movie of it happening, that's why it's so many like people like look at the number of 14 like it 14 is crazy, but 14 can come like that, especially when you see the videos. because they in a rush. They trying to get you in. They know they finna get caught at the same time. So that's why that is still to survive that, bro. Again, bro, Tory, if you can get back in court, bro, you better get on that stand, dog. You better say, look, this is what happened. Because I think that's part of what f's you over, because you didn't speak out and say nothing. You got this witness, you got the best friend girl who only went and say something, and she get some I forgot what it's called, but she got basically like she got a pass on whatever she said. You should have spoken for yourself too, bro.
In the first place shows you how real prison is. Your celebrity status is not going to protect you.
Nah.
If you're accessible, it can happen to you. The fact that Tory was on an SNY yacht, from my understanding, doesn't mean he necessarily went PC for protective custody. From my understanding, the black race in California State Prison doesn't have to remove themselves from SNY yards because their politics don't do that. The whites and the Mexicans will not stay on a 50-50 yard. It's required that they remove themselves. The reason they do that is so they don't run into pieces of shit like Santino Casio, a man that murdered a 13-year-old girl that he was dating, right? General population, they don't want him there. So if he goes there, they remove him. But if they get placed into a dorm or a unit where they're surrounded by weird fucks like that guy, they gotta pop on somebody to remove themselves. The reality is, if Tory was never at that spot around that guy, this would have never happened. And that's the thing about general population. Even though it's so strict, it's controlled chaos. That's why when Spider Loc was questioning his boy inside of the prison, he was asking, was it a gambling debt or something? Did Tory do something? What would cause someone of another race to attack him? Because under controlled politics, that doesn't happen like that. But in this situation, with SNY inmates, there's no rules and everything is off limits, resulting in Tory Lanez damn near being killed. But let me know y'all's thoughts and comments in the comment section. Again, Tory is like 5'1", and from what I understand, he's been moving around like a regular inmate. The celebrity status doesn't hold that much weight to people that don't really give a fuck. You know, you got a lot of people in there that's never coming home. They don't care about the celebrity shit.
Oh God, what? Because they don't do nothing for them.
This is prison. This is the reality.
Oh God, it don't do nothing for them, especially if you ain't putting up no money on their bucks. That does you being a celebrity, you being rich, whatever, doesn't benefit them. Only way it benefits them is if you can put money on their books, or that you can send money to their family, their girl, or something like that. But if you can't do that, you can't have somebody on the outside put something in or go pay for something. Yeah, that means nothing. But this is crazy, man.